Liberals demand Gettysburg remove Confederate statues, park drops 12 patriotic words. The tragedy in Charlottesville has refocused our attention on wounds we wish would have been healed generations ago. Obviously, they were not, and there are groups that wish to keep these wounds open, thereby maintaining some degree of racial conflict. President Trump has been roundly criticized for stating the obvious. There were those on both sides of the conflict in Charlottesville with vicious and bigoted motives. This is anything but politically correct and is a position that, while truthful, must be condemned by the left. Any vestige of the war between the states that in any way casts a positive light on those who fought for the South must be eliminated according to the left, with Confederate statues being an obvious target. But this news comes as a great relief to all true patriots who respect American history. One government agency has promised to keep both sides of the Civil War in place, and allow history to be interpreted free of the destruction of historic monuments. This government agency is the National Park Service and the location is Gettysburg, via Conservative Tribune. The National Park Service has a message for America. We will not remove any Confederate statues from our country's national parks, and the country's best-known Civil War battlefield is making that crystal clear. Less than 1 week after a group of white supremacists rallied in Charlottesville, Virginia, to protest the removal of a monument depicting Robert E. Lee, U.S. Parks officials aren't holding back words about their plans for monuments. That's just about as straightforward of a statement as you can get. Here is the rationale for the decision, which of course is perfectly sensible. Gettysburg National Military Park spokeswoman Katie Lawren explained her position in a well-written email published by goo.gl in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Its clarity is simply stunning. Gettysburg National Military Park preserves, protects, and interprets one of the best-marked battlefields in the world. Over 1,325 monuments, markers, and plaques commemorate and memorialize the men who fought and died during the Battle of Gettysburg and continue to reflect how that battle has been remembered by different generations of Americans. Many of these memorials honor Southern states whose men served in the Confederate Army of Northern Virginia. These memorials, erected predominantly in the early and mid-20th century, are an important part of the cultural landscape. The National Park Service is committed to safeguarding these unique and site-specific memorials in perpetuity, while simultaneously interpreting holistically and objectively the actions, motivations, and causes of the soldiers and states they commemorate. Yes, history must be preserved if it is to be interpreted accurately and objectively. Catering to pressure groups or extremists on either side must be rejected. One will not like all aspects of our nation's history, but knocking down monuments is not all that different from burning books. In fact, it's basically the same thing. So doing disconnects society's current discourse from significant events of the past. That must not be allowed to happen, and it's heartening to learn that the National Park Service is on the correct side of this debate. Thank you for watching this video. What do you think about this? Share this on Facebook and Twitter along with your comments.